Hello and welcome to the Sidescape Gaming Podcast, episode 24. I'm your host, Jake Burke, and I'm joined as always by James St. Charles. James, how are you doing?
Amazing.
Amazing. Why amazing? Tell me. Give me the 411.
Because we got the 24th episode of Sidescape, 25 next week.
Next week. It's going to be
big.
It's got to be so big. It's going to be probably just like
actually,
all the other ones.
I know what it is. I know what the topic is. Should we say it?
Sure. What's the topic?
You told me. It was the indie game one.
Oh, yeah. The best indie games we ever played going live.
That is my thing.
I'm very excited for that. Very excited.
Yeah.
Also, we are in the mix now of Sidescape Volume 1. The intro video is now up on YouTube live the same day as this. So it's very exciting. Happy Memorial Day as well to you.
Yes, yeah.
Because this is the 24th episode of the Sidescape Gaming Podcast. Where every Monday morning, a new episode goes live on YouTube.com, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Once a week, we sit down and Skype across 500 miles to talk about a gaming-related topic and what games we are playing. This week's topic, what games we want to remaster. If you like the show, remember to subscribe, and every Friday, tune into the Sidescape Game Report, where James and I break down the week's biggest gaming news stories. James, the reason we're talking about what games we want to remaster is because 2K announced earlier this week the Mafia Remastered collection. And they are going to incorporate, remasters of Mafia 2 and 3 that are out now. And then Mafia 1, which is a remake. And a remake is from the ground up, new controls, new assets, new voice lines. But then there's remasters, and we've kind of had this back and forth about what games we want to reboot and kind of remake. And then now we're talking about remasters. So what game or series do you want remasters for the current consoles or for PlayStation 5?
You go first.
Okay.
On this one. I feel like I go first, and I don't want to say something that you said, just so I know.
That's fair. So the game series that I want to remaster is I've only ever played part of the fourth game and then all of the fifth game. I want a remaster of Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 in HD, but mainly because they're very hard to play on these current consoles. Like you actually can't play, I think, 1 and 2 on this console. You have to play them on PS3. And yeah, I could mod it and get like a emulator on PC.
Get an emulator to play, yeah.
But I want like an easy way to just play these games currently. And that's fine if they can have janky controls and all this, but I really want to play those games because I've never played them and I feel like it's a big gap of my like gaming knowledge.
I'm with you there.
Metal Gear Solid.
I have not played any of the Metal Gears.
Have you ever played 5?
No.
Metal Gear Solid 5 is a fantastic stealth video game.
That's the Phantom
Pain, yeah.
Yeah.
But the story makes absolutely no sense, but like the mechanics and the base building, collecting people, and it's amazing. But I want like that wacky story retold in like really nice HD, like having a studio like Bluepoint that did Shadow of the Colossus. It'd be amazing if they went and did like the Metal Gear trilogy. Oh my god, I'd play the hell out of it.
Wait, is Metal Gear owned by Konami?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
good
know.
Luck.
Yeah, I'm probably not getting this. It's going to be a pachinko machine in Japan or something.
Yeah, some gacha game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but I would love Metal Gear Solid. That's like really where I want to play those games so bad. It's just hard to play them now, so I'm kind of disappointed. What's yours? Your number one.
All right. I feel like this is on your list, but I want to say it. Never played the series, but I've been wanting to play the whole series.
I know what you're talking about, baby.
Mass Effect.
Fuck yeah, BioWare.
The whole thing. Yeah.
Make it.
That is something that I feel like if they even just rumored it, would get everyone hyped for it. That is something that like everyone would be like, that's printing money basically. If you.
I'm so shocked that they've never remade or remastered Mass Effect for this current gen.
Yeah, so it's gonna skip this gen, and then I feel like why not do the next gen and imagine how good it can look with the new consoles or.
Well, I think they were probably going to remaster it, and then Mass Effect Andromeda was such a shit show. That they're like,
said,
pull the plug.
That's what sucks because I feel like that it's such like a blemish on the series, and it shouldn't like basically just be like, just go back to your roots. Like that's why I feel like you can't like just take it or be like that company was like, I'm just gonna redo Anthem or something, or like it's just that never works. Yeah. It just never works because like it's people see a bad game and then they never go back to it. So I feel like you just go back to your roots and then people will respect that. But yeah, I want a Mass Effect remaster.
Yeah, I think Mass Effect 2 and 3, excuse me, would be very playable currently. Like
but
if
how?
you found
like with the old systems though.
Yeah, but can you find them on Steam? Are they on Steam or are they only console?
No, they're not on PC. Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
I believe they're not.
Wow. Well, there you go. That's why console gaming, way better. Just a far superior way to game.
I should source check that. They may be on PC.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just haven't played.
But they're very good. I mean,
I've never seen anyone play it on PC. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know if they are then. Mass Effect was definitely on my list because that trilogy, despite 3 having some bad endings, is a great trilogy of games. And just 2, obviously, I talked a lot about it, but I love Mass Effect, and I would love to play like the stunning HD game.
Whatever you talk about, it's like, man, I want to experience that.
Dude, it is just like Star Wars and space, like the video game with choice and great combat. Oh, Mass Effect is so good. Play as Shepard again. Come on, give me some Garrus. Okay. The next game that I would want remastered is 2, and they actually did it for the Wii U, and there's a big rumor that they're doing it for the Switch. Give me Super Mario Galaxy. Remastered with normal controls.
Wait, that's still a rumor?
Yeah, they have not confirmed it yet.
Confirmed.
There's a lot more validity to the rumors because the new Super Paper Mario is coming out. And that was also on that rumored list. But we'll see with how Nintendo now apparently is struggling to figure out how to operate work from home.
I heard that. Yep.
That they're like really hurting to figure out how to make games from this situation.
It's because they're like other, like let's say America or EU or Canada, like they've been like pretty on the ball with how to do that. And Japan, not to say like it's stuck in the old ways with a lot of their tech. Like they still use faxing, they still all use old tech, and there's a bunch of these ropes they got to jump through to try and even tell it work. And I guarantee it may not work.
Well, all their games are made on floppy disks still today, and then they have to transfer them to disks.
Yeah.
Isn't that true? They're still using floppy disks?
That would take so many floppy.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do tape drives, but that would still take a...
Breath of the Wild was printed on 345 floppy disks. Yeah. It's true.
I don't even know what the max floppy disk could hold. It's probably like 100 megabytes, maybe.
Maybe. Well, like, Nintendo's games are really small, like, size-wise, comparatively. Like, Breath of the Wild is only 13 gigabytes. Think of how big that game is. They just know how to like compress textures and make it like work in their console. Because the standard Switch hard drive is only 32 gigabytes.
Really?
Yep. You have to buy an SD card for it. But I would really like to play Super Mario Galaxy. 1, I love. I've never played 2 because it came out way late on the Wii and I kind of gave up on my Wii by then. But I love Super Mario Galaxy 1, just how they utilize like the planet and going like in circles and gravity and all that. They'd have to fix some of the motion control stuff because...
Yeah, I feel like you just... I saw someone play an emulated version without motion controls, and it works. So I feel like they're going to do like some sort of like kind of motion control.
Yeah, and that's the
and it'll work.
I don't know about the Wii U version that they remade, if it used motion control, like if it had you lifting up the gamepad or if you could just play it with a controller. But because they did remake these for the Wii U, but I have no idea. Yeah. But I would love to play those on current gen. Give me it for the Switch. I mean, same with like Super Mario 64, Sunshine.
Yes, Super Mario 64 remake would be so good, or port basically.
Yeah, like an HD remaster where it's not the DS version that came out a while ago with like Wario and stuff. But I would love a bunch of Super Mario remasters. You're up, sir.
All right, this is something that we've been playing recently. We played the 4th version of it. I want the 3 before it.
Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage.
Wow.
Streets of Rage 3 released 1994.
I was 1 year old. You were 0.
Yeah. 16 years later, we got Streets of Rage 4. It's about time they remake the whole 1, 2, and 3.
26 years later.
Sorry, you're right. 26 years later.
I was like, you're not 16. Hold on.
Not 16. Yeah.
You threw me for a loop there.
26 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 more years.
And it's fantastic. We are going to talk about Streets of Rage in like 5 to 10 minutes because I'm very excited to chat about that. But yeah, that'd be interesting to remake those in the style of Streets of Rage 4. Is that what you'd want?
The new style, we talked about it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good style. Like if they did that with 1, 2, and 3 and that story, there's some opportunity there, I think.
What I've heard is in Streets of Rage 4, all the old characters, you can unlock them in 4 and play through the game as like the old characters.
Awesome.
Which is really cool. We have not gotten there yet. I think we got one character from like the original Streets of Rage.
I don't know who owns the first 3, if it's the same company that did 4, or if it's like lost in the abyss somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume because they're using the name Streets of Rage that they would be able to.
I just really like the idea of old IP from arcades coming back.
Yeah.
Like I want like House of Dead like on a current gen, or Like these like old games that you play, or Time Crisis on a current gen, like stuff that's like really fun in arcades that maybe could be emulated or even in VR.
Like, how is there not a Time Crisis VR? That would be perfect.
It's literally the perfect platform for it.
Oh my god!
I even see like on some of like Vive site, they have accessories and they have like gun accessories for virtual reality. For there's like a game similar to Counter-Strike. Okay, I don't remember what it's called, but like for that kind of game, I was like, man, if they just literally make the guns and you can like buy them and play Time Crisis, right? It'd be so.
Well, that's
and you're in VR.
The PlayStation VR has the gun attachment for that Farpoint game.
Yes,
I don't think any other game really used. But it would be perfect to do like Time Crisis and House of Dead and all like those light gun games.
It could happen though. It could happen because with the recent boom, like basically you can't get any VR headsets right now, or they're like triple the price. It's a really good time for VR because everything is everything's high in demand, low supply.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be cranking out these headsets. Companies are gonna see like, oh, there's a demand for VR. Make a game. I think you're going to see a lot more VR games.
I hope so.
Also, with the rumors that PlayStation is going to come out with a really updated VR headset, which is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's probably going to be on par with most of the current gen. So
I hope so.
Also, actually, no. Did you see the leak of the controllers they're working on?
Which ones?
They're very similar to the Knuckle controllers. That
very cool.
Index. Yeah. So and it's a little different, but it does have the full like finger movement. You can move your fingers.
Yeah, because I used the Move wands yesterday. The Move wands are so bad.
I mean, the Windows Mixed Reality has just like controllers with rings, and they're so clanky and they don't make sense. But the Knuckle controllers, I think everyone's moving to that. You'll see a lot more of that.
That's exciting. I want that. Okay. I think it's your turn to go, or is it mine? Mine.
No.
A game I would like remastered because I haven't really played it before. I really want to play Banjo-Kazooie, and I would love to get a remastered, HD textured, like they did with Crash Bandicoot. Like, give me the Crash Bandicoot version of Banjo-Kazooie, where in 4K, as they said. I want that.
Yes. Is Rare still around, basically?
Yeah, they're owned by Microsoft. That's why it's hard to get Banjo, because that's why Nuts and Bolts came out and it was terrible, and it's on Xbox 360. Never forget Nuts and Bolts.
They can make Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, boom.
Yeah, I mean, even put them out on Microsoft. Like, that's fine if they own the IP. I wonder how that gets legally with like Nintendo.
I think it's no longer with Nintendo because unless the first two games
that's what I'm saying.
Because Nuts and Bolts was on 360.
Yeah, but I don't know. Bring back some Banjo. I would love that. Same with like I would love Jak and Daxter remade, like HD. I love Jak and Daxter as a kid.
Did you ever play Sly Cooper?
Never played Sly Cooper. I know it very well.
Fun stealth game.
Insomniac, right? Wasn't that them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that? Yeah.
I think so. Now I'm confused.
Really, really fun stealth game, and then it got rumored that it's gonna be like another game, and they never made it.
Yeah, they never made 5 because that team got Sansaru was the one that made 4, and then they didn't get axed. They like started making VR games for some company, Oculus, I think. Maybe they're owned by Oculus. I believe. Yeah,
it's over.
I know. All right, what's your other franchise? This
is gonna be my last franchise, but they recently leaked footage of a remake or remaster. Actually, it's a remaster. It's a remaster they recently did. Saints Row 1 and 2. Oh. They just leaked footage of Saints Row 3 remaster. It's amazing.
Really?
I didn't realize how bad that game looked until they did a polish up. And it's not just the remaster they did. It's not just like, oh, here's HD. They redid like sprites in the game, like certain textures, making everything like look realistic.
Very cool.
And basically people were saying like, oh, they made Saints Row 4 and Saints Row 3 basically like they made their current game and then put that and made it remastered. And I was like, well, what about 1 and 2? 1 and 2 are like really good. I played that all the time on 360, kind of like before I played GTA. And I don't know if they'll do it, but I was like seeing all the hype around Mafia and all these rest, like that's what we're talking about right now. Like, there's a market for remasters.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna make so much money with everyone buying Mafia, especially if you own the other ones. It's
such a smart play too now with like nothing else coming out right now, where it's like we got like old games that you want to play. Yeah, like I would not have bought Mafia if there was other stuff to play, but I'm like, no, I bought Mafia. Yeah, I'm into it. Let's try it out. Which I have a lot of thoughts on.
And it's so sad because there's not much releasing right now. But man, if a company like release something right now, there's so much potential that everyone's gonna see it and play it. But
that's like I would really like. I'm thinking about another franchise because you stole Mass Effect from me. I want a Link to the Past for SNES, just remade with the graphics that were used for the A Link's Awakening on Switch.
Yeah,
that like cartoon bubbly kind of look, the almost like action figure clay doll kind of look. I would really like an up-res version of just A Link to the Past. Don't change anything else, just make it look like that. I think would be really cool.
Oh, you gave me another idea.
Oh.
Pokemon originals, blue, yellow, all those remade.
Remade like Sword and Shield graphics, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
It's so funny that we're talking about like, yeah, let's just get the nostalgia factor. Yeah. Everyone reprint all the games that were made in the 90s and early 2000s.
Well, because they made that less...
Tony Hawk, another Tony Hawk. Like, we like all these...
We're getting Tony Hawk 1 and 2,
that's a remake.
baby.
That's not a remaster, remake, but still.
They remade, technically they remade Pokemon Yellow with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. But it was like...
That game doesn't exist.
They incorporated so many like Pokemon Go stuff, it was like, this kind of sucks.
Yes. Yeah, it was a Pokemon Go game, and I was like, no, that's not my game.
Not great. Those are the games that we want to remaster. Bring Metal Gear Solid. That's what I hope for, folks. Now, James, before we end the show, we always talk about what we've been playing. Mm-hmm. I want you to go first.
I haven't been playing too many video games. Let's see.
Narrow it down a little bit, maybe.
Like I've been playing the usual. Yeah. Basically, I haven't talked about it yet. I believe with a new Terraria. Actually, I probably did, but I didn't talk about the new update.
Yeah, you haven't mentioned much about it. You just said there was one coming out.
I haven't played too much because the group I was part of went super hardcore, and I just was doing other things.
Okay.
They already beaten all the bosses, all the stuff. Like they went hardcore, but I've been playing it casually, and it's just completely redone. Like this update changed the game. Yeah. So there's been like smaller updates with it because they've like nerfed stuff or patched stuff, but it's now that I think the game is complete, which is interesting to say. Like when you're done with the game and you have a final update.
Yeah.
Usually in the past, a game was released and that was it. But now you have games that get updated, and the game changes. The game completely changed with this last update. Graphics changed, the way the bosses fight, like how you do things. And I think what they wanted out of Terraria, the team behind it, Relogic, they got it. They did their work. They completed their game, and they're moving on. And it's beautiful. I think it's one of those indie success stories. They've sold so many games. What a success. They had like, I don't know if they had the player count, but they had either third or fourth, like 400,000 people playing at one time.
Wow.
Peak on Steam. Yeah. So hats off to them. I haven't played it too much, but one of our friends has a server, and I started on it. We're not playing Master Mode. Master Mode's way too hard. You need like super dedicated people to it. It basically becomes like the bosses become like bullet sponges, and it just gets too hard.
That's too bad.
So I'm going to be touching that. What about you?
Well, okay, so we can talk about some almost remasters that we've been playing. We've been playing Halo 2 Anniversary Edition, which obviously we've talked about. Probably one of our favorite multiplayer games of all time is Halo 2. And it's been really cool to play the Anniversary Edition with upgraded like textures and like my major complaint with it, I mean, it is beautiful. It looks great. It looks like how I remember Halo 2 looking as a kid, which I think is the best compliment you can give a like remaster. Is like, this is what my head told me it would look this good, and now with modern graphics, it looks this good. My biggest complaints are kind of like the changes they've done to the multiplayer maps in remastering them, where it's almost like they've remade them. They've added like the assault rifle, which wasn't in Halo 2, is in them, and it doesn't feel like the assault rifle should be in the game. It's just kind of odd. And then they only remastered like a certain number of maps, and then they've made a bunch of weird maps in their like Forge mode world that just feel awkward.
Yeah, they don't have all the original Halo 2, which is kind of odd. They have like some of the staples, but
it's been fun.
Yeah, I think it's out of all the Master Chief Collection games I've released so far, it's felt like the remastered. Like this is Halo 2 remastered, and then you can play the OG style graphics, which haven't done too much, but like it's like, why would you when the other ones are so updated and modern? And
that's how I felt, and it feels pretty similar to play. Like I would not say that they changed the control scheme so much. I've really been enjoying it, and I'm very much looking forward to what they do with Halo 3.
Did you hear that they're starting flights in June
for Halo 3?
They're ramping up so fast.
Awesome.
Yeah. So possibly July release for Halo 3.
That's
and then
really
ODST might come out with it. That's from what I've heard.
I'm definitely least excited for ODST, but because I'm more
ODST has a
multiplayer,
feels.
Yeah.
But if you're someone who wanted to replay the whole Halo series and you have Game Pass, it's worth it. Coming down. Yeah.
I'm very excited. I definitely want to hop into Halo 2 campaign eventually with you, like we've talked about. And then you and I have been playing Streets of Rage 4 together.
Yep.
What are your thoughts?
Crushed it. It's so fun.
Yeah,
That's what I say. It's just beat 'em ups. Like we asked, like I asked you, like, hey, do you like beat 'em ups? And it's like, do I? And I think you do.
Oh, it's so
and
fun.
That style of game, like even though that was a big thing way back in the day for arcade styles. There's like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em up. There's probably some X-Men beat 'em up game. I can't quite remember, but it's a fun genre. And it was always like one of those things where like it was unfair and you'd just like pay more coins to like, but you can get good. This Streets of Rage, it's sometimes punishing, like as we saw, but it's fun to like figure out how things work.
Yeah, the controls are. I think like the controls, once you master them, or like not even master, but like start to learn what you're able to do. You're like, oh, okay, I can do this. There's the mechanic of like using your special move, but it takes away like a chunk of health, and then you have to like fight to earn it back. Very much like Bloodborne.
I like that.
Really like it, but if you get hit again, you lose it. Really enjoy that. I do also. I think the music is amazing in that game. Like that, like the synth.
That music,
like,
that's the soundtrack 90s. Is great. The
it's
graphics
great.
Are just like really in tune. We talked about like that style is.
And then really I love the way that it does like the comic panels to like lay out the story. I think it's like really just engaging, kind of easy way to tell a story, but it like works pretty well. Definitely enjoying it. We have to finish it because we're like halfway through.
Yeah,
it's been fun. Now we talked a lot about this earlier, but I have been actually playing Mafia 2 and Mafia 3.
Yes.
I bought the remastered because I had played Mafia 2 the first like hour and a half when it first came out back in the day. Okay. So I'm gonna break it down a little bit. I started Mafia 2, wasn't really jiving with it. Then I went to Mafia 3 and I really liked the first like hour and a half that I played of it. And then I felt guilty. I was like, okay, because Vito Scaletta, the main character of 2, is in 3. Which is really cool. Oh. So I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little guilty. I got to go back to 2. So Mafia 3 is really interesting. The way they tell the story, which you've seen, you said you've seen video of it. Yep. It's like a documentary where like they're telling the story of this guy and they're interviewing people from his life in the future about the past, which I think is really cool. I guess in the present day, which I really enjoy. I don't think I've ever seen a video game do that. I was like, this is a very unique concept.
I don't think that's happened. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm really enjoying it. And I was like, okay, the story's interesting. Then I was like, Mafia 2, it didn't grab me right away. It's very like stereotypical Mafia, like a Mafia story. But 3 was engaging enough where I was like, okay, I got to go back, play 2. 2's a lot shorter than 3, so I can just get through it. My biggest complaint with Mafia is it is a lot of just driving from point A to point B, which like a lot of open world games are. But open worlds, I think, have advanced so much since Mafia 2 came out, obviously, that it's kind of hard to go back and play like the empty shell of the world that Mafia 2 was. But back in the day, it was really good. Where it's like now we've got Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Grand Theft Auto, where it's like these worlds are engaging and there's so much going on. Where you go back to Mafia 2 and it's like there's a clothing store here, here, and here, and they're all exactly the same. And like, you know, there's like the same NPC you see walking around and slipping like every time you drive by. But I'm enjoying it more and more. You know, just got to like where you go to prison. Spoilers, I guess, but. Like, I know, sorry. But like, there's a cool shift that happens there. I was like, okay, now I'm more engrossed in the story. That being said, I saw the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in a video game in Mafia 2. And it was like a sexual act. And I was like, this is so gross.
Have you seen the magazines?
The Playboys?
Yeah, the Playboys.
Yeah. I found one of the Playboys. I was like, nice. But I'm excited to play through it. And then I'm really excited to go to Mafia 3. That being said, I think like the gameplay of them is the least interesting part of Mafia so far, but I enjoy the story a lot of both games.
Yeah.
And they have great characters. I mean, definitely Mafia 3's like characters were really engaging in that time period of the 60s, so.
Vito's good. Like Vito's a good.
Yeah. Yes, and I'm excited to see how he comes in from 2 to 3 because he's like a mob boss in 3. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm excited. Definitely looking forward to it. And then I'm really looking forward to the remake of 1 because I've heard great things about 1 back in the day.
That remake looks so good. And the 2 is basically just the 2 already, but I guess updated controls. Did we confirm that or?
They're slightly upgraded, but not much.
Okay.
And the remaster, the HD, like doesn't come across very well. Like it still looks very old. I would say the only thing that's a lot better is the lighting in 2 now is like modern lighting, but the characters still look like janky and old. And my head's constantly like clipping in and out of my hat where it's like, okay, this is an old game. Yep. But I'm enjoying it. I would definitely recommend it if you want to play an open world kind of old school game. So, yeah. A lot of fist fighting in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mafia fights. Oh, shooting? You shooting too?
Yeah, shooting a little bit. Shooting here and there. I'm fighting the Irish, so I got a lot of conflicting feelings because I'm fighting my people. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for watching the Side Escape Gaming Podcast, episode 24. Have a wonderful week.